I've made over $16,000 directly from Stan products and $160,000 indirectly, thanks to my Stan store as a whole. So you've probably seen this a million times on Instagram, head to my Stan store, and wondered what the heck is everyone talking about? Or maybe you already have a Stan store yourself, but it's not bringing in the cash you expected. Well, it's time to change that. And today I am starting a 4-part series to show you exactly how you can do it too. In this first video, we're going to go over what a Stan store actually is and why it could be your next best move for money making online. Let's jump right in.
And we're going to click sign up. As you can see, I already have an account, so we're going to go ahead and click register as if we were brand new. So the first thing it's going to ask us is for a username. For your email, you can pop something in here and a phone number, and then you're going to want to go ahead and build out your password. And as you can see, you can do a 14-day free trial before they ask whether you would want to be a creator account or a creator pro account. Now, when you do this, it's going to be very excited that you're here. We'll go ahead and click let's go. It will ask you a couple of questions about your audience, your niche, so we can use that Ask Stanley feature. Have you made online money before? It's going to ask. Obviously, I'm paying my bills. Do you know what you would like to sell? And do you have an audience that is ready to buy from you? Ready? Last one, are you currently utilizing any of these other platforms? So these are going to be the things that you can integrate with Stan. It's going to ask, what is your goal for right now? So for today, I want to, let's say, create a digital product. Then we can click and you can see the first 14-day goal is that. As you can see, this is the quick breakdown of what it looks like for the creator payment. So it's $29 a month if you do it monthly, or $300 for the year. It is completely free for the first 14 days. So you can go ahead and put all of your information in here, and then you'll be able to go ahead and work for 14 days to see if Stan is what you want and it is sufficient for your business needs. And then of course you can upgrade at that time. So once you have your account built, it's going to look a little bit like this. Obviously yours is going to look a little different because it's probably going to be zeros across the board, but it's still going to look like this on the dashboard itself. So what I'm going to tell you in this video is basically a full overview of what Stan can do for you and how to actually dive into each of the individual sections that they have on the side panel. Okay, so first, when you get logged into your account, it's going to look like this, and you can see 7 days, 14 days, and custom range. So if you ever wanted to see, what did I do from July through November, you could click on that, and then it would show you the different things, the store visits, the total revenue, the leads, etc. The really cool thing about Stan, though, that not a lot of people talk about is it looks like I've only, quote unquote, it's still a good number, but it looks like I've only made $2,000 on Stan from July through November. However, I've actually made probably 20,000. So this is actually 10x. And the reason why is because your Stan store does not have to be just Stan related products. Okay. So these are sales from Stan products only, but I've also made sales in this right here that, as you can see, doesn't have a price to it. This does have a price. This does have a price. This does not have a price. So there are certain things that you can actually link out to other funnels that you have built through other platforms, in this case, ClickFunnels. And here's another one. So I've actually been able to literally 10x this number simply by having an optimized link in bio, aka my Stan store. You do not have to just use Stan to promote your products, but I do recommend getting Stan in order to place your products, if that makes sense. Next up is going to be your store itself. So you can see my store right here. If I scroll up, I have this right here, which is basically a live stream that I'm hosting on YouTube on the Tuesday after I post this video. Then you'll also see a little bit of a label. So this is called a section. So it allows you to put things related to that section title. And then you can see I have all of these. And then there's another section. And then you can see I have a one-on-one call. And then another section, which is freebies or discounts. So it's pretty short. I don't have too much in here. I try to make it as easy as possible. And then you'll also see a little bit more information about me and where you can connect with me. However, if you go to my store, that's a lot of stuff in here. And the reason why is because, as you can see, most of these are drafted, and they were things that I was personally testing at one time, or it was things that I am getting ready for. So for example, Paid Content Creator Academy live webinar. This is happening on December 10th, and it is free and it is open to the public. If you guys want to join, I'll go ahead and pop a link below for you to register for one of the seats, but this is not going to be promoted until December 1st. I am making this video on November 15th, so as you can see, it is drafted. There are also other things that I've done. Let's just say this one, for example, where it is drafted, but it did perform well for me. So I wanted to make sure that I still had access to all of the copy that I used. What's really cool about the My Store section is you can make it however you want. I have personally adjusted my store's aesthetic probably 10 times in the past 2.5 years. I personally chose to go with something that was more brand building focused. So what I mean when I say that is I wanted my colors to pop through, and I wanted the focus of the photo to be the focus of the design. Okay, so we could also come over and click edit design. I'm obviously in this one, but you can see a bunch of different other ones and what makes sense for your brand. The most important part, in my opinion, is going to be this guy, which is surprising because it's the smallest piece, but that is actively convincing someone to click through. So this one is a good one. This one's actually a really good one because it kind of does a little bit of both, but I am getting cut off with the photo. So this is the reasons why I personally made my decision to choose the one that I did. Again, I'm going to go back to the one that I was on. So this is the one that I personally chose for those reasons. But as you can see, there are plenty to choose from. So I just wanted to show you that not only can you build out the store however you want, but you can also edit the aesthetic however you want as well. Next up is we are actually going to put in the information about who we are and where we want to be. So you can go ahead and start that now. And then in part 2, we are actually going to personalize it together. Okay, so by all means, you can go ahead and add your name, and then we will build everything from there. All right, let's move on to the income section now. So again, as you can see, my income says around 16,000, but that's actually been 10x'd thanks to stanstore. I use stanstore for almost everything that I sell, but I don't sell it all through Stan. I just link it all through Stan. So if someone wants to do one-on-one coaching with me, they can find it on Stan, but they are going to buy it through ClickFunnels. Okay, so that's why it's not translating into this number per se, but making 16,000 on small, low ticket guides on Stan is also pretty incredible. So I'm still happy about this, but I've done around 160,000 in digital products over the past 2.5 years that I've been using Stan, simply by utilizing Stan to get people out to the right location. You can also come over here and click cash out. In this particular case, I literally only have $6 because I just cashed everything out yesterday. So it won't let me. I think you have to meet a threshold of like $10 or something, but you could always click cash out. And if it's ready, it'll be like, congrats, it's being sent to your bank. But obviously you would need to attach your bank to it. So the way to do that is to go to your settings at the bottom of the left-hand screen, and you're going to want to connect your Stripe. If you do not have a Stripe account yet, you're going to want one because you can't get paid through Stan without having a Stripe account. So that is something that is absolutely necessary. It's very simple to build a Stripe account. I'll go ahead and give the link to sign up for Stripe in the description of this video. But once you do, all you have to do is come in here and connect your Stripe account using your username and password to Stan. Very, very simple. So you don't even have to put your bank account in here. Your bank account is actually going to be established in Stripe. I hope that makes sense. You can also add different integrations based on what you are doing in your business. So in my opinion, you are going to want one of two things depending on where you currently do things in your business. The first one is going to be Zoom. So let's go ahead and show you exactly how to do that. So I'm already logged into Zoom. So all I have to do is come over here and click allow, and it will give permissions to allow Zoom and Stan to connect. Why I think having Zoom connected is very important is if you plan on doing coaching calls, if you plan on utilizing Stan to host coaching calls, consultation calls, live trainings, whatever you want to do, you want to make sure that you are connected to this so that Stan can automatically send that out to them via email. The other one you might want to do is Google Calendar. I am connected with Calendly, so it's a little bit different. But if you have a Google Calendar, you can go ahead and connect that. And then that will allow people to book a call with you, and it will be based around your available schedule simply by connecting your Google Calendar. Last up is email notifications in your account settings place. All you have to do in here is basically say you want all of them or you only want a couple of them. That is completely up to you. I personally have them all toggled on so that I can be notified via email. So next up is the analytics section. So I'm not going to go through this too deeply today because we will be going over this in depth in part 4 of this tutorial series. Next up is going to be your customers. So this is the location. As you can see, there are 62 pages for me because I have been here for a while, but this is basically everybody who has ordered something from you. Even if it was a freebie, even if it was just giving you their email address to get a product like a free product or get on your email list, whatever it is, this is where they're going to be. And then you'll also see how many purchases that person has made and how much they spent. So as you can see, these people spent $0 because they were getting on a freebie list for me. However, if you come over here, you'll see that these people have bought 2 things, 1 thing, etc., and how much they have spent with me lifetime. You'll also see on the right-hand side if it says subscription. So again, in part 3 of this series, I will be going over exactly how to build out individual products, including a subscription model. I also did want to show you this. This particular person has purchased 6 things from me for this total, and she currently has 2 subscriptions. All right. So that's how you're able to see your customers themselves. And you can also filter by certain things. So let's say we want to filter by who filled out or who signed up for our freebie PCCA offer that we had last week. You can see there are 3 pages of those people, and that's why it's 0 because it's free. And then we could easily just download this list and figure out how we want to hit them in the future. Maybe we want to add them to an email list that targets them with more information about the PCCA, because if they put their information here, they more than likely were interested in joining since they wanted the free course. But now I could maybe hit them with a paid course. Okay. So that's how you can use these little filters up here. You can also put active to subscription. So let's be like, who is in this community? You can see each of them in there, and who is in this community? You can see them in there. All right. Very, very simple. I am not going to go over funnels today. That's going to be in a much later video. It's a little bit more in depth for this channel right now, but you can see funnels are currently there. You'll also see appointments. So this is basically if someone were to be booking a call with me, I would be able to see it here in the calendar itself. Or like I said about my live webinar that's happening on December 10th at 5 p.m., that would pop up on December 10th once it went live in Stan. All right, guys. So that's all the time that we have for step 1 of this Stan tutorial series. I hope it was helpful in figuring out exactly what each of these elements are and how you can use them in your own business. I look forward to seeing you guys in part 2. You can go ahead and click right above my head where we're actually going to be creating and personalizing your Stan store from scratch. I'll see you guys there.